You've been around the internet for the last 5 years, you've probably heard of the term gacha game at least once at some point. Gacha games have become literally the most profitable type of video game to ever exist. Don't fact check me on that, that's probably not true. But you can't deny the fact that in like 6 odd years, these games have basically exploded in popularity in extraordinarily large levels that you can't even imagine, right? Every 2 months I find like a brand new game of this style that does look cool, I would admit, but just makes me wonder how the hell did these games get this big that even people who have literally no interest in anime or otaku culture in general are addicted to them. I mean, I'm an example of this myself. I've played like 7 or 8 of these consistently at some point, and some of these I've invested a concerningly large amount of hours into. My first couple of videos were a playthrough of one of these gacha games. You know, I remember promising that I would go back and continue the series at some point, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. Please don't go watch those videos, they are just complete trash. Anyways, over 800 hours of playtime is nothing compared to the thousands of hours that others have poured into these games, and doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Some of them have made literally billions of dollars. There are probably hundreds of articles talking about the scummy practices that so many of these games have, and that's not even mentioning the communities of these titles filled with millions of passionate fans making fan art, fanfics, reading through multiple books worth of lore hidden in the game's world, making multiple hour-long video essays, cosplaying their favorite characters, buying figures and other items about the games, and I am part of the problem. I'm literally making a video right now that is about gacha games. You're watching it, so you're part of the problem too. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I see your fat ass watching this sitting on your gaming chair and eating fucking Cheetos. You fucking loser. Fuck you. You know what makes me wonder? How did we get here, man? How did people like me get so much into this style of game? And how did they get so big? Like, how did they go from a niche mobile game genre to the most profitable thing in gaming in general right now? It's honestly fascinating to me how we got here, so that's what I aspire to do here. Figure out how gacha became this big and also gush about them a little bit because I unironically love them. Alright, let's dive in. Before we start to talk about the origins of gacha video games, we should probably specify what a gacha game even is for the like 2 people that clicked on this video and don't know. Gacha game is a video game that incentivizes players to spend in-game currency for a chance of getting in-game items. Said in-game currency could be gained from gameplay, daily logins, spending real cash and stuff like that. The items you use the currency for can be everything from characters, weapons, and other similar things, while that gameplay can be anything, honestly. They can be simple match-3 mobile games and also massive open world lore-filled adventures. There isn't really any boundaries when it comes to this genre. To understand the beginning of gacha games, we have to keep in mind that the gacha business model didn't start from video games. It existed years beforehand. In the 1960s, the Japanese company Bandai started manufacturing these vending machines named Gachapon. These machines were basically filled with small plastic toys in capsules, and you can pay like 200 yen, which is the equivalent of like $1 in the US, and get a random toy from the machine. I bet you've seen these types of machines at some point. Over the years, they have spread to all over the world and not just Japan. After that, we also got blind boxes, which originated in the 1980s with Fuku Bokuro, a blind bag created by the Matsuya department store that basically features random ass items. It can be literally anything. Most of the time these blind boxes are sold during New Year's, but you can still buy them throughout the whole year with no problem. And there has been many blind boxes made to just sell anime things like figures or keychains, etc, etc. This blind bag business model has been used with other things like Lego's collectible minifigures, mostly found in gas stations and such. Over the years, this weird-ass business model has been added into so many things in Japan. Like, for example, concert tickets are done in a raffle. So imagine if you have like a disability that prevents you from standing comfortably for long periods of time, and then they tell you, nah, you're not getting a seat, you're going on the floor, buddy, cause I said so. What the fuck? Anyway, it was inevitable that this system would be incorporated into Japan's video games as well. After digging for quite a bit, the first example of a gacha system in a video game I found is in WizZ's game MapleStory, which is technically a Korean video game, but leave me alone. MapleStory is a 2D side-scrolling MMORPG released in Japan and Korea in 2003, and then the rest of the world throughout 2004 to 2007. I'm sure many of you have heard of it or even played it. It's comparable to World of Warcraft in a way. Now, I know literally nothing about MapleStory, so you can hate on me in the comments all you want. I am so sorry if I get this wrong. Some people would consider the first gacha game stuff like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon cards that originated in the 1990s, and yes, they do have a business model that features buying items that have a random chance of giving you like a legendary SSR character or a fucking stick or something like that, but those aren't really video games, and spending money is required to even participate in these games, while with video games like Genshin or Arknights, it's a choice that the player makes, so I wouldn't put them in the same category, I guess. Let's move on to the first official gacha game, because MapleStory isn't technically a gacha game, it just has gacha in it. First gacha video game from what I found is a game called Dragon Collection, a game that was part of the Japanese social network Gree. If you haven't heard of Gree, it's fine, I haven't heard of it either before researching for this video, but from what I can understand, it's basically just the Japanese version of MySpace, but with video games as well. Now, I would love to tell you more about Dragon Collection or show you some kind of interesting gameplay, but I couldn't actually find anything cool about it. All I found is like 25 minutes worth of gameplay from 12 years ago, and a plot synopsis on Wikipedia which says it's a story about a boy named Hiro who wants to play a game with his father, goes to an arcade and finds himself in the world of Dragon Collection and must find a way to become a Dragon Master and get back home. Damn, Sword Art Online's anime must have been inspired from this game. The game also got an anime adaptation. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. It's okay, nothing special really. Now, Dragon Collection was the game that kickstarted the gacha craze, but the first game to popularize it, especially for mobile, was the 2012 game Puzzle and Dragons, that I also can't install in my country. When I tell you this game got big, it got big. Like, it made $7 billion by 2018, and I can't even imagine how much it's made now in 2025. Now, after Puzzle and Dragons released, gacha games started getting pretty popular in Japan. After a couple of years, some of the games even started getting some traction in the West, with titles you might have heard of like Fate Grand Order, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, or Sonic Runners, 2/3 of those still being pretty popular to this day. I bet you already know what game I'm gonna talk about, right? Think about it, it's 2020, you're stuck in your apartment either alone or with your boring ass family, and you're watching a gaming video, but the YouTuber you're watching is sponsored by this cool looking anime game. Going viral was because of a plethora of reasons. The game released in the middle of the pandemic, everyone was stuck at home, especially in the US and China. 2020 was neck deep in the kinda cultural boom and acceptance of anime. More and more people were getting into anime, especially gamers. So it's obvious that an anime game would get popular. And not only that, but instead of streamers just reading the script for 5 minutes and getting paid a couple $1,000, they actually were playing Genshin, probably the biggest reason why Horowitz' game got so big. And Genshin got so massive, collaborations with stores, fast food chains, expensive ass figures, and an anime on the way made by Ufotable, who animated Demon Slayer and Faith, and so much more on top of that. Like, the craze has obviously died down now in 2025, but this game still makes so much money, it's so fucking insane. Obviously, with every single other popular thing came many games that wanted the same success as Genshin. I mean, games that immediately come to the top of my head are Wuthering Waves, Tower of Fantasy, that Nikki game that came out like last year, and there's so many more games that aren't exactly inspired by Genshin, but still want that success, and still wouldn't exist because of Genshin. I think there's multiple reasons why gacha games are so successful. They're super accessible, all of them are for free and a lot are for multiple platforms, and none of them require even a cent to start playing. And all of them give you the opportunity to spend like a couple of bucks from time to time and get some rewards, so it's not much of a hinder to spend like $5 every month or so like that. Another reason is the large cast. Every game has a large amount of characters that have distinct personalities or cool detailed designs, and it's really easy for someone to get attached to a character or even multiple characters. Especially since some of these games allow you to be in friendships and relationships with them. A lot of them have super intriguing stories that get updated like every 2 months. So you're kinda constantly heading on a cliffhanger and always wondering, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. I have to find out. I can't stop playing the game. I have to see it through to the end. And yes, I am guilty of this exact situation. Another big thing some people have said is the progression system, like building a good team or upgrading a character to a really high level. That takes a lot of time and it's really time consuming, but it's super satisfying to have like a really strong character, you know?
Bling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
A lot of you might already know some of the criticisms Gacha has received over the years. There has been a lot of comparisons between Gacha and gambling due to their reliance on chance-based mechanics and kinda jamming cheap offers at the player's face so they can spend more money. The industry has been accused of exploitative behaviors and purposefully made addictive design. There's also been studies proving that some percentage of Gacha players have specific gambling addiction behaviors and such like that. Never played any of these games, that's definitely something you have to keep in mind. It is kinda scummy, I'll admit it. It's super easy to just dump a gigantically large amount of money and have nothing to really show for it because of the addictive pool these games have. Like if you want a new strong character, it's super easy to spend like $5 then, $5 there. But then before you know it, $200 are just gone by next week. Many countries have laws that regulate these games or require companies to disclose the chance of getting items or characters. It is fair because without these games having a spending limit, it's super easy to have extreme financial losses. The US and most countries in Europe consider Gacha legally a form of gambling. Some don't, for example the UK, which doesn't consider them legally gambling because the items you are betting for don't actually have a monetary value.
This one said it could be gold, I'm aware.
The way to celebrate, I'll be waiting.
So with all that said, are Gacha games cool? Yeah, if you know what to do. A lot of them have so much to offer for absolutely free, but you definitely have to be cautious about specific things because they can lead down to a dark path if you don't stop yourself. If you want to get into gacha games, there's a game made for anyone, honestly. If you're into open world games, here you go. If you're into turn-based RPGs, here you go. If you're into strategy, here you go, etc, etc, you know the deal. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you for watching, believe in yourself, and never give up. Bye bye.